Welcome back to the next video in our series for new gun owners. I'm Paul Lathrop of the Polite Society podcast. Joining me is Amanda Suffolcool of Eye on the Target Radio and Rob Morse of Self-Defense Gun Stories. We're up to Rule 3. Rob, what is Rule 3 of Colonel Cooper's rules? And let's discuss it.
Keep your finger off the trigger until your sights are on the target and you've made the decision to shoot. Think about that. There's a lot there. It applies all the time. You pick up a gun. Keep your finger off the trigger until your sights are on the target and you've made the decision to shoot. Amanda, how do you explain that to your students?
Well, I start with this demonstration right here, which is when you pick up the gun, you get a good solid grip on the gun, and you keep your finger in line with the barrel. Oh. I am a firm believer in your finger in line with the barrel. I've seen people do it with it down, with it up, with it, but I teach my students to keep their finger in line with the barrel because as they talk about concealed carry or personal defense or instinctive shooting, this is going to hold them in good stead because you've been pointing this for years. So you know exactly where that finger is pointing. And so you can actually point the gun in that without having to use the sights, without having to do anything else. If you practice that every time you pick up your gun, this is where your finger is. So that's the first piece of it, is your finger is not on the trigger until you've made the decision to shoot. Because if you're at home and you're walking through the house and you've got the gun and you hear a noise and the cat jumps off the dryer, either the cat or the dryer is going to bite the biscuit if your finger's on the trigger. Mm-hmm. If your finger's not on the trigger, you've got a split second to decide, is that bump in the night one that is typical in your house or not? You got to know what you're shooting at, and you need that time to make that decision.
I like that you emphasized the decision to shoot. You may have a target. Have you identified it?
Right.
Do you intend to shoot it? Does it? Someone described new gun owners this way. They want to know when they can shoot. Somebody said more experienced gun owners go, when do I have to shoot? When am I out of options? Mm-hmm. That's the way I'd like you to think of it. Not when the law says you may, but when morals say you must shoot in order to defend life. And that's a decision.
That you don't have any other option that's available to you for you to get out of it alive. And so
everything
that's
else looks
when
worse.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So Paul, what do you have to add into this one?
Not honestly, you folks have covered it very, very well. I want to reiterate the finger on aligned along the barrel. I personally, I do index it very high, simply because that way.
So you're this guy.
Yes, with the Smith & Wesson Shield, which I carry, I can also, by having the finger up that high, I can feel if the gun is completely in battery and not have to look at it. That's if it's down, it may or may not be. It's just an extra backup for me. But yeah, the finger, unless the gun is on target and the decision to fire has been made, the finger is not inside the trigger guard for me.
Paul, let me add one little point. This sounds academic. It sounds difficult for a new gun owner. You take the gun to the range. Every time you present it to the target, you're making that decision. By the time you carry a firearm on the street and get a concealed carry permit, you've practiced making that decision thousands and thousands of times. It will become instinctual. It will become automatic. And you'll pick something up and go, oh, look at that. I grabbed my cordless electrical drill and my finger out of habit is straight. Tell me I'm wrong.
You're absolutely right.
I have really good trigger control on my garden hose. Exactly.
In there with you.
All
That's
right.
it. So it's just a skill set that we want to teach all new gun owners because it will hold you in good stead from that point forward. Now, know this though. They have worked on this gun to make it ergonomically easy for when you get a hold of it for your hand to go right like that. They make it easy for that. You have to overcome it. So that's the thing is as a new gun owner, you're a new gun owner, but you're a new gun practicer. As you practice with this gun, as you handle this gun, you want to do this over and over and over again.
Amen. All right. Any other commentary, or should we keep this one short and get on to the fourth rule in the next video?
Okay,
move
moving on up.
All right. We're going to go ahead and set this one aside. Stay tuned, Facebook folks, for another video in a few seconds. And for YouTube, a few minutes, we'll have that out. Thanks for watching.